like it. That's before you go on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people always get
Caught me off
nervous that
guard.
I'm leaving. They're like,
It
"Are you
caught me off
leaving?
guard
You going
last
home?"
time. I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
What?
everyone's like, "Is she leaving?" I'm like, "I'm not leaving. It's just a thing I do." So we gotta keep the what is it, babe? Superstition alive. Like,
we're very
we gotta
superstitious in this house.
Tradition. We
Yeah,
can say
yeah.
you're
Yeah, there you go. Tradition.
it's an athlete thing.
Yeah. All right. So Fire Weekend, Netflix.
Broke.
Mike, yeah, they
Netflix
broke
broke.
Netflix.
Terrible.
Did you get the glitching? We ended up watching it on our phones because it just worked better on your phone than it worked on.
I am watching Yellowstone, like rerun, which is like one of my favorite shows. And so I was like prioritizing that, but I was like, I'll just click through. And every time I'd try and start playing it, it would play for a little bit and it would be okay. And then it would stop. And I try and fast forward. And I'm like, all right, well, the fight's not on yet. I'm not too worried about it. So it was, it was not ideal. Blurry.
It started working.
Loading.
Oh, hey Jody. Hey Judy. What's up, guys?
Hi.
It started going really bad during the women's fight, Taylor and Serrano.
Mm-hmm.
It started glitching really bad, but we were just like, screw it. We put it on our phones, and then it seemed to work fine watching it on our phones. I mean, it wasn't ideal, but it was still good. Did you see any of the women's fight? That was the best fight. Was the women's fight.
Yeah, that was good. They were savages. They were teeing off.
Mm-hmm. Do you think she was purposely headbutting her? She was definitely leading with her head the entire time.
Obviously. I mean, who cares? It's just part of the thing. I mean, if you're gonna lean and you're gonna do whatever the ref is gonna let happen, and I mean that's probably her MO. I mean, I don't know anything about the fighter's background, so I bet if you went to some old fights, I bet it was there.
They just
they did say that about her. That it's normal. Like if you look back at her history, the injuries that her opponents always get are like those injuries where she's just leading with her head, and so it definitely is something that she's known for.
Her face was split open. I was like, I can see face meat.
Yeah,
like
face meat,
like legit.
The worst part is they keep zooming in on it, and I know that it's like the biggest talking point of the fight right now because it's so bad. But I was like, you don't have to focus on that the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that that Serrano lost. I didn't think she lost at all. I thought she fucking won that fight. That was the big thing. I mean, I don't think she should have. Her coach and her trainers or whatever were talking about it on the floor. I didn't necessarily think that was a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely thought she won. I thought that the Martin girl lost. I mean, it was a good fight. That girl was just so much faster than Martin. And visually to me, it was just like she was the aggressor. She threw the most punches. She won the fight. And then it was like, nah. And I was already mad because the fight before it, Barrios and Ramos, that ended in a draw somehow. I mean, that was an amazing fight too. Because
I didn't see that fight. I only saw a women's fight.
It was Barrios for 5 rounds, and you're just like, oh, this is going to be the most boring fight ever on the planet. And then
here comes
Ramos comes out in the 6th round and just starts teeing off. And it made it a great freaking fight. But I still thought Barrios won. So I was already pissed at the decision on that one. And so then when they gave it to, obviously I should never try to be a boxing
judge.
Yeah. Because apparently I don't know what I'm doing. But so, yeah, she was pissed because she was like, I landed 107 more punches. She got deducted a point and I lost 95-94. And it really was. It was like, what the heck? What is going on? I thought she won. But go on, girl. She's got like 87 titles to her. So that's fine.
Yeah.
She'll be all right.
Insane. For sure.
Well, when it comes to the whole trash talking thing, I know you said that it didn't feel like it was in good taste, I guess you could say, doing it on the floor. But isn't that sports? Like, isn't that professional sports? Or does the trash talking usually happen like in the press conferences, now social media? Like, what do you think? Like, is it not okay to trash talk when you're still on the main stage where everybody's still paying attention and it's still like a relevant conversation?
Was it trash talking or was it whining? To me, it was like you lost. You have to.
I mean, it's part of the game. I mean, like you can. It's just. It's part of It's part of the game. I mean, it just is what it's going to be. Like, I think. I mean, I think in all sports, like as long as you're not talking about someone's family, I mean, I think everything is on the table, like most of the time, especially like in boxing or like MMA. I mean, it's a show, right?
Yeah.
So it's just about entertainment, even more so than like ball sports, like football, like team sports, right? Like
All
individual sports,
Clip that.
Ball sports.
ball sports. That's right. You played a ball sport.
I did
Stop
play a
it.
ball sport. Yeah.
Exactly.
Those were the only balls I
Uh-huh.
touched in high school for sure.
No.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, Jody, our Netflix was too. We were just talking about that. Yeah, they broke it. It was broken.
mhm. They didn't pay enough to AWS. They're like, oh, that's what it was. I mean, there's enough bandwidth on the planet to go around, right? You just got to pay for more. And you
Mhm.
know that's like it's like people are tuning in and they're like, oh gosh, we need more. Like, and yeah. I mean, and so that's why it gets fixed later on. It doesn't just like fix itself. They just like they like, get a bigger server, more servers in it, etc.
Hey Slater, what's up? Chris Beesterfield, I heard a rumor CJ has never yelled at loud or that loud. What?
I don't know.
Yelled at who?
In
I
general.
personally don't think you've ever yelled at anything ever. Like
Dude, it's so funny, like the persona that can be perceived on the internet.
Mhm.
Like, just it's not even.
Not
it's
even
Not
close.
even close.
Not even close.
It's so not. It's fine, right? Like it's good. I'm totally okay with whatever this persona is, and so the soft spoken thing is most of the time everyone hears me at 6 a.m. when my wife is on that wall and my son is on that wall.
Mhm.
Like, so
what's up, Slater?
that's just like what it is. But no, I yell fucking bloody.
But yeah,
so
those two
this
were
was
great.
this was my favorite part. So I can't share my screen, but let's see. Go to Netflix if you can pull it up. Can you pull it up on your computer?
Possibly. Okay. On Instagram?
No, like Netflix.
Okay.
Anyways, the post-fight interview, and I know you guys probably didn't notice it. Maybe you did.
I didn't see the post-fight interview.
I did. Go ahead. Yeah.
You should, because the only fucking thing in those videos are the ring girl's tits, and both of them are huge.
Oh, is that the hysterical reel that's going
The
around
reel that's
with
going
the holy crap?
All right. It's like on the decision, you just see like the
boobs.
blonde and the black girl just like right there. On the interview, like you can see her face meat, and then just like a big old pair of black boobies, and then on her other shoulder, big old pair of blonde boobies. And
Oh my God, that's amazing.
hilarious. Like they guys.
Is that the post-fight interview for Tyson or the post-fight interview for
No, for the girl, whoever won. Whatever. her
Oh,
name is.
okay. Yeah, Martin. They booed the shit out of her. I felt so bad. But at the same time, I was like, I can see it because everybody felt like the other girl won. That Serrano won.
Mm-hmm.
But the Tyson one, let's get to the Tyson one because that's the one that I want to have like a long conversation about. There's a narrative going around that it was either like fixed or scripted, like it was a WWE thing. I personally saw an old 58-year-old man with a bum knee trying to fight, and Logan Paul realizing, hey, this guy, like I feel like they duped us on Instagram, showing us all these videos of Tyson looking like he's 25 again.
Well, he almost died in the summer.
Right.
So, but these videos were pre that, right? Like he lost like a lot of
25
weight.
pounds, I think you said.
Yeah,
in his-
and what did he have? He had an ulcer rupture.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
And like severe. And so it's pretty hard to come back from something like that. But with that being said, I do believe it's fake in some capacity. There are some videos that show Tyson maybe pulling up, like Logan ducking and like Tyson getting ready to like swing a haymaker and like pulling it down, but I mean, I called it was fake before. I didn't really follow anything. I haven't watched a fight, just to be clear, before this weekend since
You know.
Mayweather McGregor.
Oh God. Okay, yeah, it's been a minute for you.
5 years.
I saw that clip too, and it's like titled "The Moment Where Tyson Realizes He's Not going to get paid if he like knocks Jake Paul out." And I don't know where that video is. I probably should have saved it, but it
On
was
Instagram somewhere.
it was so even. I don't think Jake was so far away from him that even if he went to punch him again, I don't think he would have reached him anyway. So I really don't, and he wasn't moving fast enough to get to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I personally didn't think that it was scripted. I think
Yeah.
Tyson had 2 rounds in him, like he always does. And then he became 58 years old. And then by the time
for sure.
by the time the 5th round rolled around, I was confused and really kind of didn't want to watch it anymore because it just looked like my grandfather getting beat up. You know what I mean? And you could see it in the crowd.
But was he really getting beat up?
Dude, look, did you see his face?
I mean, he was like he was stumbly, like not like I'm getting my ass beat stumbly, but just like I might have like a little bit of Parkinson's stumbly.
Yeah, that one leg with the brace on it, that leg wouldn't move.
Well, he almost tripped on the way out.
Yeah. It was
like if you watch his entrance, he was walking and then he kind of almost trips forward and
that worried me too. I was like, dear God, dude, please don't die. Like you're Mike freaking Tyson, you're Iron Mike Tyson. I need you not to die in this fight tonight. Please, God, don't die.
Well, he made $20 million.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I mean, he won. I get it. I just went and I was kind of thinking maybe it's like a thing where when girls watch it, we feel one way about it and see one thing. And when dudes watch it, they see another thing. And I'm finding out right now by the comments and you that that's true. Like,
what do you mean?
Like I got scared for him.
Oh, for him.
Yeah. I just wanted him to get out of the ring. It looked like Jake Paul stopped throwing hard. I mean,
yeah.
Because it did. How could it be fake? Because Jake Paul did look scared in the first 2 rounds when Tyson first started, right?
Going at him.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as the first round like started and Jake grabbed him and like got tangled up with him like 10 times in 2 minutes, I was like, all right, this fight's gonna suck. You just knew it immediately, right? Like he kept getting tangled up and like having to get separated and then backing up, and he was running, and then like Tyson got tired. He did. He didn't look. He didn't. Yeah.
So many times when Tyson
first started charging at
him.
Yeah.
So to me, unless he's like the greatest actor on the planet in the middle of a fight, it didn't look scripted to me. And Bernie, you're right. I thought the same thing every time. Like he couldn't back up.
Right. Yeah. He was like falling.
Yeah.
Like old man fall. Like an old man stumble. Like ugh.
And I was actually kind of happy because if you watch some of Jake's other fights, I went back and watched some of his other ones. He hits hard. He throws hard punches like for all he's worth. And he didn't in that Tyson fight. Because I think he realized somewhere around the 3rd, 4th round, like, hey, I might kill this guy if I actually connect. And I think he stopped throwing hard. I was in my mind, I was like, I gave him props for that. I was like, please don't
kill him.
Don't kill him. It's just, I blame myself because I definitely thought I wanted to see a fight like that. Like I in my mind, I was like, oh, Tyson's just going to come out here and
Garrett. Bring your dog over here, please.
This boy's about to get in trouble.
Get him, Mom.
It's okay. Get him.
Mom won.
Yeah, Mom wins. No, Uncle Jeff will get him. I thought I really wanted to see that fight. I thought Tyson was going to come out. He looked great on Instagram. He was going to punch him in the face. It was going to be awesome. Everybody would get $40-50 million and everybody go home and it would be great. And then I got into it, and by the 5th round, I was like, ooh, I never want to watch one of these fights again.
Like they're fight.
No, I don't ever, unless it's another old man. Like when he fought what's his face? Roy Jones. That's fine. No problems with that.
That was the worst part of the whole night. Was Roy Jones commenting the fight.
Oh, you hated it?
It was fucking terrible. I swear
What?
to God, if I had to hear him talk about him biting his fucking glove one more time, we were gonna fight. Like I was, because Roy Jones lives in He's from Pensacola. I know where his
Oh,
house
okay.
is, and you'll see him like around town, just like in his like Michael Jordan tracksuit, which is the same thing he always wears. It's funny,
Right.
like full matching, like baby blue
Yep.
Forces or Jordans,
Mhm.
like baby
Yep.
blue tracksuit, right? Oh my God, he sounded terrible. That was, I think, of all of it, like the streaming was terrible. I mean, they just pulled in actors. I don't know, whoever that female actor
Rosie Perez.
was. She was fucked, dude. She was an idiot. Like she just like I just felt like they were terrible. Like, just if you're gonna do it and spend the money, just get all the same people that do this for a living. Like,
Mhm.
get them in. Like, yeah, I don't know. I just listen to them like, all right, you're adding no value to any of this in between the shitty stream.
To me, it was the other guy. I didn't mind Roy Jones Jr. The other guy
Yep.
to me was corny as hell. The tall white guy that was standing
The
next to
glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's his job. He's literally a boxing announcer. Like
He's corny, dude. Oh, maybe
he's
I'm
an
used
actual announcer.
maybe I'm used to like I was about to say the trailer park, but what I really mean is the tailgate like live streams. I'm used to the
Mhm.
tailgate live streams. So
Trailer park.
yeah, So I guess I'm not used to real announcers anymore because I watch all the tailgate ones. But oh my God, if Jake Paul, see, I don't want to see that. That's what I'm saying. Nope, I don't want to see that. Bringing in him. There's this like I don't want to. I'm not gonna watch it. I won't do it again. I'm not fooling myself again. Unless
Yes, you will.
No, I won't.
100%.
I'm
Yes,
not
you
doing
will.
it. I'll watch the
Without a
undercard. The
doubt.
undercard was great.
If Logan and Mike fight, you're gonna watch it.
Logan's gonna fight who?
Mike called him out. He goes, "I want you next." And Logan looked him dead in the eye in the middle of the ring, and he was like, "I will fucking kill you, Mike." So he
Nope,
said,
I'm not watching it. I don't want to
"You're
watch it.
watching it."
And Logan's
100%.
unhinged too. Logan is the more unhinged one of the two brothers. I'm not watching that shit. I can't. I thought Mike was gonna die. I had like 87 heart attacks in 2 rounds, and I was watching it through my hands the last couple rounds, and it's pretty much yep. That's exactly what I look like. And so I can't do another one of those. I thought I wanted to see it. I was vehemently I was wrong. I don't want to see that. Jake better start fighting real fighters. You better go get Canelo.
I was gonna say
go get Canelo.
I'm trying to find it. I can't find it, but I came across something on
Kenneth Lap, Evander Holyfield's son just joined the WWE. That's amazing.
on Instagram that said that Jake only goes after like retired fighters.
Yeah.
And is not actually going in the ring with any current boxing professional boxers. I can't find it.
The closest one was Fury, right? He fought Fury, and that was like the closest thing to, and he lost that one.
Wasn't it Fury's brother?
Yeah,
was it not
it was the little Fury,
right?
But he's still an actual real boxer, though. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That's the only one, and he lost that one. So
yeah, but no matter what, right? Like he is the Pauls, whatever their brand is, they are the best marketers on the planet. There's no one, without a doubt.
I can't.
That made $500 million in Vegas. Like, it's the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen. Like, it's wild. Sell out Dallas, like Cowboys Stadium for a boxing match.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
And break Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch any. I haven't watched. I don't think I've watched a live stream that Netflix has put out. I watched that one.
There's only a couple. You didn't miss that many. I mean, there's only been like a few.
Mm.
No, I'm not doing that again. He better fight someone. He needs to. If he doesn't,
he'll never fight Khabib. Khabib would actually murder him. Sorry, Jan Clark put him.
No, that's true. He
kill him.
I will only watch if he fights somebody like 38 and under. They have to be under 40. I'm not doing that again. I can't do it. My heart can't take it. Can't do it. And that's what I wanted to. He might pop on. I'm not sure, but Chase, because he was actually there, and I wanted to ask him.
He was at the fight?
Yeah, he was at the fight.
Oh, cool.
And I wanted to ask him when you could feel it from the TV stream, the air go out of the room around the 5th, 6th round when everybody realized like, oh my God, Tyson might die. And everybody stopped. Like they were were they booing at one point? Or they
Yeah, but they were booing. They were booing because the fight was just absolutely boring. Like, it was clear. It was clear that like one side or the other was pulling back and not happening, or the fix was playing itself out, not as entertaining as people would have liked to see. I don't think anyone went in there thinking that it wasn't going to be somewhat fixed. Like, it's just like WWE. Like, you have to know, even though it's a sanctioned fight, right? I mean, Tyson, he had $20 million right in front of him,
oh
assuming
man,
there was a lot of money
I just
gambled to make him lose through other people.
Mhm.
I mean, like, there's so much shit that happens in those situations but it was just an absolutely boring fight, right? Whether it's fixed or not, I don't care. But it was very boring, like in general, across the board.
it was. I just thought, yeah, Father D Reed, Father Time is undefeated. That was my takeaway from it. I was like, nope, never doing that again. Little Bernie Yen and Little Fury is more
more
like
like
a
a furry.
Fury than
A furry.
A furry. Oh, geez.
If I want Giddy Up, what's up? If I want to stream, I'll go and paddle in one. And then this one, Jake Paul versus
Oh, yeah.
Conor McGregor.
See, I could see this
Yes.
because I mean, this would be, the Conor Floyd fight. I mean, that was like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I think Floyd made like $80 million in that
Yeah.
fight.
Damn.
Guys,
He's another one.
Mhm.
$80 million in a night. That's the
That's
craziest shit.
crazy.
That man can pack a house. But Conor said he would only fight him at 175, I think. And
Well, Jake can never get there.
and Jake said, I won't do it, but let's do MMA like old school, the way that it used to be, and not care about weight. So see what
What is Jake at?
220.
He was 230 on stage, I think.
Oh, was
I
he?
think he
Oh,
was 230 on the yeah. But the problem is there's no way. There's like, Conor went back in the testing pool, but he'd probably have to come out of the testing pool to do it, and it wouldn't be sanctioned because he'd have to get back on the juice for sure.
Mm.
I just can't see
I mean,
Jake-
I think if Jake, I feel like they could come to an agreement. Like, if Jake got down to like 210 or something like that, like get under 210, so there's at least a chance. But yeah, I'd watch a Conor Jake fight for sure. Of all the
That I would
fights, I didn't really care about this fight, but it was on Netflix. I was like, all right, I'll watch it. And yeah, like last night, so I went over to my buddy's house last night to watch the John Jones, like the MMA. And that was the first like main card of fights that I've watched probably ever. Like, I sat through and like we watched from like, I don't know, like 7:30 p.m. like through the final fight, and I haven't done that in forever. And that was actually moderately entertaining. So much better than the Tyson fight for sure.
Did you see Trump Daddy at the
Oh my god, dude, I almost fucking came in my pants when he came out with his whole fucking entourage. Are you kidding me? His whole presidential cabinet was behind him like he was fucking Ja Rule in the fucking early 2000s. Are you fucking kidding me, guys? That was the most savage shit I've ever seen. Vivek, Tulsi, Elon. The only person that wasn't there was JD, and that was just because the Secret Service is like, fuck no, you can't bring everyone.
No.
That's
you
the
guys can't be
only
together.
reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the
You
only
can't
fucking
all
reason.
be in the same room at the same
Right.
time.
The
That
entire
is-
presidential cabinet can't be
Yeah.
there. The speaker, right, dude.
If
Oh,
he'd
I
have
don't
just
even know what
walked down
everything
the
is.
aisle with all of them with some like crazy song on, then that would have been amazing.
They put the YMCA on, the YMCA song on again. He started to do his little dance, and
Kid
then
Rock.
the
Kid Rock was
Kid Rock.
there.
Kid
Oh,
Rock was there. Yep,
dude,
saw that.
Dude, it was amazing. That was so just savage.
Look, he's still coming right now.
Oh my god, I couldn't believe it.
Everybody
I
was
like,
giddy at that. There
For
was
sure.
so many times that people reposted it and whatever. Well, I was thinking, if it was scripted, and I was talking to Garrett about this or whatever, is that if the Tyson and Jake Paul was actually scripted to fill the seats, something that the promoter that ran it, the MVP Promotions company, was saying during his interview is that this event will be the biggest audience that a professional women's boxing event would ever have. So for me, I'm like, well, fuck it. How do you get people in the seats? you're not going to get people in the seats necessarily because of them, but you're going to get people in the seats because of Tyson, because of Jake, and how they promote it. So for me, it was a win-win because the women get to come in and they have the biggest audience on the biggest platform than they've ever had. They walked away with more money than they've ever done before. So for me, I was like, make it a skeptical, make it a scripted, make it whatever to fill the seats for those women. Because the women's fight, in my opinion, was the best fight of the night. So
for sure.
I was like, cool.
I mean, the amount of money that's going to come to both of them now from like social media notoriety just for being on that fight, to be life changing. Like I don't know anything about them besides her fucking eye and her face meat. Like that's it. Right? But I can guarantee that they'll both have gained 6 figures in followers.
Yep.
Oh, I already started following both of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep,
right.
exactly,
And which means that there's going to be more sponsorships to both of them now.
And there's controversy between the two of them, which just heightens the price or heightens the audience.
They're going to make money.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
the price first gets bigger, everything gets better. Yeah.
Jan Clark, Katie Taylor is a savage. Yeah, dude. They said that they were gonna go for fight number 3, I think. But Serrano was like, only if she doesn't headbutt me, only if she doesn't lead with her head, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, that is the only reason I'm gonna watch it. I want to see if she does do that shit. I want to see more face meat. I want to see more like flurries of punches. And that was a savage fight. The action never stopped. It was great. I guess I can't say face meat and the action never stopped in the same sentence, but I did it. It's there.
That's there. Clip that shit.
I got it. I got it in, baby. But yeah, so it was fun. But I'll never watch another Jake Paul fight with a dude over 40.
Yes.
I know.
Yes,
I can't.
We will.
I'm hurt. My heart's hurt.
You're hurt.
Well, she wanted to stop watching the fight halfway, and I was like, "Oh no, we have stayed up together watching this whole fight. Like, absolutely not. We're in it. We're awake now. Let's go."
I know, like a dumbass. Okay, well, that was that for me. That was pretty much all I had. I just wanted to know if people thought it was fixed or not fixed. But if you want, did you want to talk about what we were talking about in the DMs?
With the election
and
sure. Like I to start it off, so I just happened, I'm not really active on my Instagram from like a posting or business standpoint anymore, so I don't ever go into my analytics, but I just happened to for something I realized like, oh wow, I have like a high viewed month, right, that I don't really have usually. And I looked and I was like, oh, my follower count's like a good bit lower than it was, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. And I lost 134 followers on the 6th and the 7th.
Because people found out who you voted for?
Well, I posted a Dancing Trump video.
Oh, that's shit. That's all you got to do.
Just the story. It was the, I don't know, it was like the one that's just like it was just like a collage of him dancing and like, and yep. It's wild. Like I lost an athlete that's a really good friend of mine, and yeah, it sucks. It hurt. Like we're really good friends and I respect her a lot, and
they just can't.
It was interesting, and she's going through like a struggle of IVF, and so it felt like it hit closer to home with her, and like she's like, oh, what if this vote of like results in me not getting medical care? And I'm like, you guys just realize that it doesn't work like that. Like abortion and like emergency medical care during pregnancy and birth they're literally, there's two different things. Like has nothing to do with the same, like they're not even on the same spectrum. And so I just won't argue with people about it, but it stinks. It's like this, someone told me, because I was really struggling with this for like that day and the next day. And one of my buddies who has never voted for Trump, and I was like, what made you switch and all this stuff? He's like, I just started opening my eyes and like understanding what was being fed to me, etc. And he was like, and I was like, I just don't know like how to start the conversation. He goes, the conversation has to start with this. If you're going to talk to anyone about it, you have to basically assess and ask them, is there a chance that everything that you know about Trump is a lie? Could you believe that before we even start this conversation? And everyone will say no. But if they don't say no, then the conversation is worth having, but they won't. And they will say no. And it's like, all right, well, then there's no point in having the conversation with anyone, right? Like, he's a bad person. He's a sexist. He's a misogynist, right? He's a rapist. He's all these things. And there's no way that it's all a lie, right? Or it's all completely inflated to what people perceive it as currently. There's no way that
make a narrative.
that's not true, right? There's no way that that's not true. One, because it's been happening for 8 years, well, 9 years, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard, right? I mean, it's literally 9 years is so long for, I mean, like our generation, right? I mean, that's like a measurable portion of someone's life, and they've been being fed the same narrative. So there's no way that that narrative could be not true, right? So yeah.
The IVF thing sounds like, okay, so that's her issue that makes her feel like your vote was personal. For
Correct.
me, back in, I don't know, 2016 or 2020, I guess, when people were voting for Trump and I was voting for Biden, my family members were voting for Trump, and I was like, oh my God, how could you do that? Gay marriage, gay marriage, gay marriage, gay marriage, gay marriage. And that was the thing for me that made it feel like their vote was personal to me against me, and just could not get out of that fog of their basic. And it's like, dude, no one's thinking about you, right? Like, you're voting based on what is right in front of you in your life. Like, you own a business, you have a son, you have a wife, you have, you can't vote for other people. You have to vote for yourself and what's best and you feel like is going to protect your family. And, so I'm not mad at, to her, I'd be like, well, you voted for men to be in women's bathrooms. I don't take that personally. You know what I mean? I don't think this person is a bad person because she voted against, you know what I mean? Something that I think is important,
Right.
But they can't help themselves.
Oh yeah, for personal. Sure. We had a conversation about it, right?
Oh, good.
And it's just still like, it was like, she's like, I know you're a good person. I mean, I've been working with her for like 6 years.
Yeah.
I mean, like, she sent like presents to Bennett, and we've trained together in person, and so it just like it just like hurt, like it was, and it really made me question, like, did I do the right thing? Like, I really had a lot of like come to Jesus, like internal stuff about like, is Trump the right vote? Am I the one that's blinded, et cetera, et cetera. And I really sat and I really just like consumed a lot of content written on both sides. And all it did was like further red pill me. And I was like fucking digging my heels in, and I'm right. Like,
that's
I'm
how
not,
it happens. Yeah.
And like I got really angry, not at her, but just in general. And like my view and like my leans of like moderateness after that, like completely out the window. Like, like it made me like upset, and I'm just like I'm just everything I've consumed, and it's for sure just like the social media algorithms that like just keep pushing me further and further. It's just made me more like, it was so fucked. It was so much further fucked than anyone could even make anyone believe. And hopefully things change. But yeah, it was tough. It really sucks, like across the board. Like, I was like,
well, because then she would have to admit to herself, like you said, this has been a good chunk of our lives. It's been 8-9 years now, whatever, of us going through these ups and downs, and she would have to admit to herself that some of the things that she thought was wrong, some of the things that she said is wrong, some of her arguments with people that she loves. Like, for example, I used to fight with my uncle all the time. He's not a bad guy. He's a great guy. But because I took the way he voted personally, I thought he was just a douche. And just, and it wasn't him being selfish, it was me being selfish. And
Yep.
so
I stopped talking to one of my aunts who's like a second mom to me and has been there for me in so many ways, even more than my mom has at sometimes. And
Mhm.
when she made it public that she voted for Trump or Republican or whatever, I was very upset with her, and I couldn't believe, because my response was, how could you vote for someone that's against every aspect of who I am? You know what I mean? And it's like, no, she had to do what she felt like was right. She felt like she has her information, and maybe it's my turn to start reading my own information and getting my own information and asking more questions versus just yelling at somebody or cutting ties with somebody because they did what they felt like was the right thing to do. And I think it's also very difficult because we are supposed to be empathetic for the singular experiences that people go through, but that is not reciprocated back to us. So when it comes to IVF, for instance, like we didn't do IVF, I did IUI, and it took me a very long time to get pregnant. I got to a point where I needed to almost be on shots and take it to that next step, and had to pay through insurance, didn't cover it all, didn't cover the actual sperm and delivery, not like, so it was a lot of money, it was a lot of time, and like, so I get the thought of like, oh my God, is my rights to this are going to be taken away. But the truth is that it's a tough journey no matter what.
Yeah, for
It was a
sure.
tough journey before him. It's going to be a tough journey with him. You know what I mean? And then it's like, you're empathetic to that conversation, but she's like, and she or other people are not empathetic to how you feel about certain things.
Yeah,
And that's the hardest part about all of this is just.
it is, and I'm only empathetic to like a couple things just in general. Like I don't have like a lot of like, you know, I don't. I mean, like when it's appropriate to like,
Yeah.
So like for someone going through IVF and they feel like this vote is going to potentially hurt them, hurt their chance to have a child, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think she's misinformed, or whatever the fuck term you want to use. And, and I think, like she might be a little blinded. But I am empathetic to that feeling, because that sucks. Right.
Yeah.
Now to people that are like, guys that are like, he's a mean man, I'm not fucking empathetic to that. You can suck a dick. Like, get the fuck over it. Right. I don't care. I was like, it's just such an interesting thing to say, right? When Obama killed 3 million people, right? When Obama deported millions of people.
And
it's
you
like,
don't hear that
just
narrative.
because he talked fancy, right? And he talked like a politician, right? We just haven't had that in forever, right? Bush was a fucking warmonger. Okay. And people will say that, but then they don't really bring it back up. I mean, Biden was just like I don't know, just like a rug that people just walked over and just couldn't do anything. And so like mean is not a thing, and it doesn't, that's irrelevant, right? And so if he is mean, there's been plenty of mean presidents. Most of them were fucking war generals and military generals when it started. So
yeah,
that's how that shit works. Do you think they weren't bad people in their time? You know what I mean? And so, no, absolutely not. To answer Judy's question, not even 1 ounce of my body. No, I'm not 100.
He probably has shared more since
Good
then.
on you.
No. And so the only reason I don't, right, and the only reason that I don't like, I enjoy coming on here, right, is the YouTube sphere has a very unique follower, right? Like, I don't know if you ever, like, one of the political things that Savon posted, it was like, who are you voting for? Oh, it was like on election night. It was like 94-6, by the way, the percentage split, over 1,000 votes, which just shows who's watching CrossFit or this space of YouTube, right? This fitness YouTube world. And so I don't mind coming on here. WOD Prep is not my business and not my platform, but the things that I do even on my own social media can affect WOD Prep.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, I probably wouldn't do it again. I don't regret it, but I probably wouldn't do it again. Or I'll make like my own personal page, which I have one, and just like post all my red pill fucking conspiracy through there or something, and just have like a faceless Instagram.
There you
know
go.
what I
There you
mean?
go. Yeah. See, I'll talk all kinds of shit. I won't like post on my Instagram,
Mhm.
but I'll talk all kinds of shit on here, and I'll talk all kinds of shit physically in the store. Like
Oh, I'll talk all the shit.
some of the
I'll talk.
customers that come in there love to get into it, and I think it's made it I honestly kind of think that it made this red pill journey a little bit easier because I get to talk about it with them so much, and they are so cool and willing to talk. Even there's only a couple of my Democratic friends or my liberal friends that absolutely just hate talking to me about it. They love me, so they'll still
They
talk to me,
lose.
but they're just pissed
Right.
as fuck all the time. You can see
Yep.
the shift in energy happen or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
what are you gonna do?
Mhm.
D Reed, yeah, I just adopted this dude. I started doing this like a month or so before the election, where people would ask me who I'm voting for, and I would just tell them the policies that I like. I wouldn't even say who it was. I stopped saying Trump and just started saying, well, I'm voting against men and women's bathrooms. I'm voting against men and women's sports and sterilization of children and blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, yeah, I agree with that. I'm voting for Biden. And I'm like, okay, fine,
Right.
whatever. Like,
Wrong.
it's all
Give a
good.
little hand clap.
You
and
picked
keep
the
moving.
wrong one,
Mhm.
but you agree with me though. Like you agree
Oh,
with
yeah,
me
for
on all
sure.
those subjects. But okay, that's cool.
Jody, to answer your question, yes. Yes, I have reconnected with her. She actually is one of the ones that I called when all of this transition of children started to happen, and was leaking into schools and stuff like that. And I have continued to have really, really good conversations with her. And she was actually very surprised and grateful when I was like, hey, can I just talk to you about what is going on in schools with transition of kids? And she was like, wait, you want to talk to me? And I was like, yes, I want to talk to you. So she was very, very grateful of that. But so we're awesome. Everything's good.
But yeah, it's gonna be they're gonna do this for a while. And it's well, I mean, I don't know. I was thinking
You guys
probably
know, okay, hold on. You have liberal friends, right? So I don't have like any, right? I mean, I say that, and then 3 of my 4 closest male friends voted uh Democratic, which is so mind blowing to me, but they did, and
do they have
it's
wives?
fine.
Do they have wives?
One does, uh, but he's in Orlando. Orlando's like super liberal,
Super, yeah.
and because UCF is it's a college town, right? It's just a college town, tourist town. Um, and but they and then 2 do, the other one does, lives in Atlanta, has a little girl, and that was like his sort of reasoning. And
Right.
we were having a conversation the other day, and he's a talker, and he was just going at it, and he was like, I just couldn't vote for him. I agree with the things that he wants to do, and I hope that he does it, but I just couldn't vote for him because of my little girl. And I was like, I don't know. I
Yeah,
was
they
like, let's just like,
brainwashed even the
I was like,
Jews to
we're
think,
just gonna move
yeah.
on. And you know, like, and so where was I going with this? I don't even remember what I was about to say.
Oh,
You
sorry.
asked us if we had liberal friends.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was your
Oh,
first question.
There's
it
three of
was.
your liberal.
4.
It was. Dang, I still. Oh, do you know anyone in the four? Do you guys know anyone doing the 4B movement? You're
We
Oh,
don't
shaking your
know
God,
head.
anybody
no.
personally. No,
Fuck,
no, but we
dude, that
have
shit's crazy.
learned about the 4B movement. Like,
Isn't that can't be millennials though? Most of the people I know are married, so they wouldn't do that anyway.
well, I had a
But
I mean,
a
like
coach.
the main one, like they're like one of the main videos they're sharing is definitely like a 45-year-old single woman, like shaving her
'cause
head
she's
in her.
45 and single.
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
She shaved her
45.
head.
Yeah.
I had
That's
a
the whole
coach
thing.
that
Is
she people have been asking her like, hey, are you going to support and do the 4B movement? And she wrote very eloquently in a post, and she was like, I have a very hot man that loves me a lot and is very sexy. So unfortunately, no, I'm not going to be able to participate in this movement with you.
There's no married woman out there. I mean, I would have to believe there's no married woman or a woman that's dating or anything that's out there trying to do this. You know what I'm saying?
the world is missing out on
Yeah,
that
like
right there,
there's no, they're
man.
just not there. No.
Wait, go over though.
Oh yeah,
This one was great.
I showed this one
Oh my
the other
God.
day. Kenneth sent it to me, or Ken Walter sent it to me,
Yep.
and then this one. I don't know if this is just trolling, but starting January 20th, women will no longer be able to drive a motor vehicle without a driver's license. What?
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Like that's what that makes me. Right? I feel like that's on par with that exact quote.
I hope
right?
that chick is trolling. I hope that's a troll. And
Isn't it the
not
same girl that shaved her head and got the tattoo? There's no way she's
no,
fucking
no,
trolling.
no,
they're
no,
different
no.
ones.
It's
They're all
different
ones,
slides, yeah. But that it's I don't know. The world it's going.
That,
they're
yeah,
gonna
Kenneth, that is the money
Kenneth
question.
is confused.
That is the
Yeah.
money question. Yep.
We all
Kenneth
looked at
missed
it. We're like, what?
Yep.
But then also too, why would you get a tattoo of a dude you hate? So now you got
For
Trump
sure.
on your side, and
Yep.
it's a big tattoo for the rest of your life. Like, girl,
Mhm.
you got what you asked for. Like, there you go. But yeah,
You think she's gonna add like cross out Trump's name and then like put like JD Vance next, and then like under that's gonna be like Tulsi Gabbard, and like
She'll
under
do it
that
for
will be like Vivek.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
But yeah,
Well, what do you say when because he's picked his cabinet, obviously, and obviously once you get into any position of power, your dirty laundry gets hung and everybody starts to see these things about you, read these things about you, whether they're real or they're not. Like, are there any of them that you've seen stuff, read stuff yourself where you are concerned maybe that wasn't a good pick?
Oh, I don't know enough. I feel like everyone that's like been a like a pick of contention, right? Is famous enough that all their laundry is already out there.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like most of the people that everyone's like, why would he do this? Like they've been in the limelight forever. Not many of them are like career politicians, or any of them are career politicians, which could be a good thing. Right? I mean, that's what we're hoping for, right? That like not pulling in the career politician that for sure isn't in someone's pocket, right? Is we would think it's a good thing, since everything that we've done for the past, I don't know, however long it is, 12 years, it's been pretty fucking terrible. So, I mean, we hope that that's the right play. I mean, like Elon and Vivek doing this, like a government efficiency thing, right? I mean, everyone's going to think it's a joke, but they're self-made billionaires. Like Vivek's like 30 something and he's a billionaire from nothing.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to talk, and this is like where businessmen do a good job running businesses. And this is literally the biggest business in the world, the United States economy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll see, right?
So far, I like what I see.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's, like when you see it pop up initially, most of the time it's like someone complaining, right? And so they find this way to spin the narrative of like, the I don't know, the Fox and Friends guy, the National Guard dude, right? Compared to a 4-star general. And it's like, well, that 4-star general introduced DEI into the military, right? And completely botched pretty much everything military wise that we've been a part of for the last 4 to 8 years. And so it's interesting. The biggest thing that I'm struggling with is how people are complaining about the picks. And I'm like, guys, like the RFK pick for sure, right?
Yeah,
Probably the biggest
everybody's
one.
very,
But it's
very
like
upset about that.
But it's like, did you see what was in charge before?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck was that? What is that? What is that thing? Like the stuff that's, I mean, like clearly nothing's changing. Like we're not getting healthier.
Yeah.
Right. There's been no changes to the FDA and what's allowed. Right. Like it can't be that hard to be in charge and say, okay, no more red dye, no more food color dye, right? In foods. It can't be that fucking hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right. Like does RFK way off the deep end on all of it? For sure. That's why there's cabinet. People are going to rein him in. He's going to focus on certain things. Can we just not put
pesticides
like,
all over our fucking farms and
yeah,
shit, and like,
right,
can we start there?
yeah,
Yeah.
there has to be a way to do it. And then I don't know, I feel like there was
There you
like
go.
a picture. Yeah, what is that, guys? And so this is where it is, right? And I didn't look into him. Well, I don't know, whatever,
Right.
whatever
Sure.
they
However you would like at this
are.
point.
But like, you're literally in charge of health of America. You gotta look at least a little bit of the part, right? And I mean, like, what did she do? Like, and this is the thing, right? Like, so cool, she was the first transgender, like, in a lead cabinet role. Like, but was it just the DEI hire? And the answer is for sure yes. It has to. It fucking has to
Absolutely.
be. There's no one that was better.
They ran on that too. That Biden promoted or put in into the cabinet a transgender person, the first transgender person ever, or some
Sure.
shit like that. It's
Yeah.
like, who cares? Nobody cares.
Trump's fucking chief of staff is a female. It's the first time a female's
Yeah.
ever held that position. That's huge, right? And it feels like she's actually qualified, right? We know he's not going
That's
to
what
put
I'm
in
saying.
DEI.
I don't
He's
even
like,
want to hear that anymore. I don't want to hear the first anything anymore. I just want to
yeah,
hear if the person's qualified. I don't care if there's a first female president. Is she qualified to be that?
right.
Great.
But like
I'm
the
excited.
speaker, like just listen to them talk. Like, there's no way that she was the best option, right? There's no way this lady was the best option, right? Yeah, her resume could look okay, but like, there's just odds, right? And Jordan Peterson talks about these odds of like transgenders and like being in positions, or like men and women like employ like a workforce and things like that, or like having trans children, right? And it's like the odds of this being the best person in these positions, or having multiple kids that are trans or pansexual, right, or whatever, like, it's like winning the lottery over and over and over again in a row, right? Like, there's no way that this was not a political move to like heighten the view, and not the best move from a policy standpoint or an action standpoint. Like, it's just clear that it was that. And I hope that Trump isn't doing that, right? But you could say that he might be, right? Because it's like rolling with the hype, and all these people are popular and they have a lot of social media following, or whatever it is, but I mean, it seems like all of them could have. I mean, there's probably a lot of good options out there, right?
Well, my
You know,
next
so
question, my big question, I guess that I'm seeing, or what's coming up the most, is what is the definition of being qualified for something? Is it
oh, sure.
experience? Because if it's experience, what the Democrats have shown is that you need to be in your position for a very long time. You need to have all these credits. There should be no term limits, that like, if you're a politician, you will have a career in politics and you are the best qualified for that position. Or
Mhm.
is qualification on his side, where it's like, you don't have career politicians. From my understanding, when the government first was created, it was not politics was not supposed to be your career. Politics was supposed to be from a place of service. You're coming to
Right.
serve your country for a little bit, and then you go off and you have your career, you almost like a part-time job, for lack of better
That's why they don't
terms,
get paid
or
anything,
whatever.
or not enough, or
So
whatever.
so what is the definition of qualification? Because Donald Trump, technically, by definition, should not have been qualified the first time to be president of the United States, but he got there and he
Yeah.
made it there. And now he's doing it again, and he has all of these cabinet members that are doing it too. So go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, that is like the question for me, because everyone is like, I'm hearing now the left is like, well, this one's not qualified, and this one's not qualified, and this one's not
Right.
qualified. But it's the same group that's like, well, this one should be hired because she's a woman. This one should be hired because of
Right.
the color of her skin. So what is the definition of qualification to be in a place of a job? We can go coaching wise. Like, if you're a
Sure.
coach, fine, you get a piece of paper to be able to step into that position, but where do we get our cred from? Coaching all the classes, making all the mistakes, doing all of the movement in
Sure.
person. I don't have to have a laundry list of paperwork that says that I'm qualified enough to be a coach
Right.
because of my experience, but someone else might come in and have the paperwork, but doesn't actually have
Yeah.
the experience in person qualification.
Sure.
Sorry, that
So
was a lot.
no, yeah. So like from a coaching perspective, so I have the paperwork, right? Like I have it.
Mhm.
Like, I have an undergrad in physiology, minor in psychology, right? I have a doctorate in physical therapy. I have CSCS. I have USAW. I have multiple level 1s. I have thousands of hours in like collegiate strength and conditioning setting, and I have thousands of hours of CrossFit coaching, right? But
Mhm.
there's still plenty of people that, you know, but like I have very little education. Like I didn't do like CCP from like OPEX, right? Like all of my CrossFit programming stuff came from like being in the trenches, right? And so coming back to, you know, so it doesn't matter, right? Like it's just like
Mhm.
the product that you're going to put on paper. And I think Trump learned last time that I think the career politician is the problem. Like it's the problem, right? And I think he's trying to break that mold, which I'm on board with. Do I think it could bite us in the ass? Oh, 100%. Like there's no doubt in my mind. I think it's a risk for sure, but nothing is fucking working. So it's the only option, right? Is
Why?
to pull people in that aren't. And then what was like if it's like, you know, he's like released like 10 things that he's going to do. He's released like 4 or 5 of these videos, right? On the first one, what was the last thing that he said? Term limits to Congress. If that goes through, everything will change.
Yeah.
Everything will change if we can get term limits on Congress. That will be the big, if nothing else happens, just status quo the whole way, right? Like RFK doesn't get anything done. And, you know, like Vance is just, you know, like a good talker and just is what it is. And we just continue to cruise through. Crypto goes bonkers, which would be great. I'd love that. But,
Yeah.
you know, but nothing really changes. If he got term limits
That would be the
in
big
law,
one.
that would be, nothing would be the same again, right? Like you wouldn't have these people like Biden or Warren, right? Or Pelosi, who've fucking been in politics for 50 years, guys. That's
And
just
have
so
never
crazy.
changed their opinions, right? Have they ever changed their opinions? Have they?
Well, I mean, Biden has.
Yeah.
Biden did.
He was against
Biden
gay
was
marriage. He was
against gay
yeah.
marriage. Like he was a
Mhm.
huge like supporter and voter. Like
He did the crime bill. He
yeah.
did. Yeah. He's changed his mind. He's changed his mind with the way his party has
with
moved.
what gets you further in office, right?
So my thought was when I voted for Biden, I thought once Biden was in office, everything was going to go swimmingly and everything was going to go right. And it was just going to be glorious. And everything went wrong. Absolutely everything went wrong. So now I'm going into this one with, there's going to be some fucked up shit probably a little bit here and there. There's going to be some bumps and bruises and some hurt feelings and some whatever. And so going in with that mentality, I'm just hoping everything goes right. Like that's, I'm just going to change my mentality on this one and just expect some bumps and bruises and
Oh yeah, for sure.
hope that it goes. All right, dude. We're about to get into the strong women, lesbian, gay shit. If you want to get thrown into the deep end of that, or if you want to like slide away quickly,
slide away. I mean, I guess I don't have a lot of. I mean, I only know what like Spin has posted and whatever.
No, it has nothing to do with what's
nothing
no,
different. Oh, then I don't know anything about it.
Pertains to lesbians and gay community and whatnot. I'm going from a completely different angle. Clip it. Like,
clip it.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, rock on. Fuck who you want. I don't know. Who cares? Who fucking cares? What does it matter?
No,
anyways, all right. Well, I'll dip then.
Okay.
And we'll get on. One day we'll get on and I can yell.
Yeah, when
since
you
everyone thinks I'm such a nice guy.
Well, they heard my mom voice, so they think I'm sweet and innocent.
Oh yeah. Bennett was on like a screaming tear today, like just like for like all morning. And then at one point I was like, enough. Parent was like, don't yell at him. He's 2. And I was like, you're right. And I was like, God, it was just like it didn't change anything. He looked like
fuck up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And he looked right in my face and he was just like, bah.
Yeah, of course. They do that.
Immediately. Yeah. And I was like,
definitely do that.
You on tomorrow morning, CJ?
No, Tuesdays. We're gonna do Tuesdays. We'll go Tuesdays and Fridays moving forward. Just because Monday I need to like, I don't like to work on Sundays as I like to work as little as I can, which means Mondays are always like a busy day. So Tuesdays and Fridays moving forward.
Cool.
There you go.
Cool. All right,
Cool
guys.
beans. Thanks for hanging out with us, bro.
Enjoy.
See
Appreciate
ya.
you.
Later.
Bye.
Deuces. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't want to throw him into the mix of this. I don't know if he's ready for that yet.
There you go.
Okay. So yes.
You've been waiting to talk about this.
I kind of have been since
Yep.
the boys were having a conversation about the strong women thing on Savon's podcast the other day. I forget which episode it was, but a very interesting conversation arose. And I know that they were doing it as a bit, like something funny, and yeah, it was funny and whatever, but I realized that I've had that conversation multiple times with other like gay friends over the years, like many, many times.
Mm-hmm.
And it was how he was talking about how like there are some strong women that have some more masculine qualities to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be a reason why I guess a straight guy could test the waters to see if he's gay by sleeping with a woman that has more masculine qualities.
Mm-hmm.
Ken Walters, this isn't grade league. Nope, sorry, buddy. Definitely not. And as I was thinking about it, I was like, I have had the Butch Bridge conversation so many times.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of want to challenge that because I feel like for a straight guy, it would be a trans woman who still has the parts. Or like you know what I mean? Like it'd be one of those hot lady boys from Thailand or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because
they're feminine.
They would look like a girl, but now you're testing the boy parts to see if you like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it would be, because then I always had straight women. I was always the bridge between that because I look like a dude, right? So back in the day, I talked to a lot of straight women and they weren't getting emotionally what they needed from their dude. They got emotionally what they needed from me. But then, hey, I'm a girl. Like, you're not getting that D from me.
Mm-hmm.
But it was almost safe enough just because I look like a dude. So I would argue that the strong women would probably be the bridge for straight women as well. Because they look like a dude, but they're a girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Like, I don't know if a straight man would try it out with a girl that looks like a dude. I don't know, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you want to jump in on this.
Say that again.
Where's Jan Clark? I need Jan Clark for this.
Wait, say that again.
A straight man isn't going to see if he's gay by sleeping with a woman that looks like a dude. Because you wouldn't be gay.
Wait, a straight man.
Yeah, if a straight man
wouldn't sleep.
Okay, so if a straight man, this is what he's saying, right? That that strong man guy who cheated on his wife with a guy and a girl.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they're like, he might be gay. Is he gay? Is he testing out to see if he's gay? If he was testing out to see if he was gay, he would sleep with one of the lady boys that have male parts but look like a woman, trans women.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Because it looks like a girl but has boy parts.
Okay.
So I would assume that would be
the
how
same
you
way
figure out
that
if you're gay. You would sleep with a trans woman. If a straight man was trying to figure out if he's gay, he would sleep with a trans woman. I don't think he would sleep with a woman that looks like a dude. Especially a big one that can lift like 800 pounds off the floor.
Can lift him up off the floor.
Do you know what I'm saying? Jody Lynn, I'm lost. I know. That's what I'm saying. I've had this conversation over the years so many times. We're all still trying to figure it out too. But I can just remember talking to my other girlfriends and it was like, why do I always get hit on by straight women? Because they either don't know that I'm a girl, but I still...
Or they're curious and you're the safer step versus going
straight to this femme woman in heels or whatever, because then that just blows them up completely. So I just had to challenge that one from the boys podcast the other day because I forget his name. Who's the dude that just got in trouble? He just put up a statement too. I think Simon put it up, but
Luke something.
Luke Stoltman or somebody. And they were like, yeah, if he was trying to figure out if he was gay, he would be with a strong woman. In my mind, I'm like, I don't think so.
Yes. Yeah, he did put a statement out or
Yeah.
whatever.
They already went through that this morning.
Yeah, it's pretty much like
But
pain and the pain I caused. Can I have some privacy? Blah 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 blah. And everyone's like, yeah, you're only doing that because you got caught.
yeah, for sure.
So
He's not putting that post out if he didn't get caught. Why?
yeah,
I mean, I'm not mad at him, but whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to challenge that logic because I don't think so. Because if I wanted to see if I wanted to be with a boy, I would probably go be with another butch lesbian first. Like if I wanted to figure out if I was straight,
mm-hmm.
I would probably see if I was attracted to another butch looking les. Does Spiegel count as strong woman? No, absolutely not. No, that is not enough of a. Unless he's on the DL and using bigger women as a safe step to deny being gay since he's still technically sleeping with a woman. Ooh,
That's a good point.
that's a good point.
That's a good point.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah. I mean, but damn. All right. I guess I can. Yeah, because if a straight dude slept with a trans woman, I've maintained and always maintained that's gay.
Right.
That's absolutely gay.
Yes.
So, all right, fine.
Because the gents are what they are.
You proved me
The
wrong.
genitals are what they are.
Yeah. All right, fine. You proved me wrong. I was listening to the conversation. I'm like, oh, I thought I would think that, but I guess they wouldn't want the genitalia, but they would want, I don't know. That's so, all right. I'm going to have to start asking my gay friends because Jeff, you're straight. I'm not listening to you. So I talk to my gay friends about this.
But ultimately being gay or being straight literally has to do with who you are sexually attracted to.
I know, but sometimes when you're on the fence, making that jump is hard. Like, did you just your first girlfriend was butch, right?
Yes.
But she looked like a girl. Oh no, she didn't. She got mistaken for a dude all the time too.
Yeah, when she would dress up a little bit.
Yeah, where is Pool Boy? He is needed for this.
If she would dress a little girlier and like show her body a little bit more, then she wasn't questioned. But most of the time when she would wear hats and that kind of stuff, like people would think she's a boy.
Because I've never dated another butch. I've had girlfriends that were femme and then became butch later, but I never dated them while they were butch. So I think for me that confirms I'm gay. I don't want but I just thought that was interesting because those are conversations that we have in the community. Is weird, and for them to think of that type of conversation, I was like,
are you surprised though?
No, I'm kind of not surprised.
No,
I'm not.
Remember, whatever they think about, literally, they talk about. So
what did you think of who's the wife? Coochie.
Yeah.
What did you think of her putting her? Sevon says she shouldn't have done it. Caleb says, yes, queen. You got to side.
I'm 99% sure that Caleb did not say yes, queen.
He did.
He
Chat,
did.
confirm it. He said it like 3 times.
What?
Yeah.
What?
He said it like 3 times.
And then didn't Hiller say something very profound too? Like maybe she wanted the house to burn or
down.
something.
Yeah.
Listen, you and I have been so successful in our marriage because we don't share when we're having a hard time. When we're going through our shit, we don't share.
Thank you, Jody. Sure did.
Oh, thank you for that confirmation because I can't picture that. But
it was awesome.
We are so successful because when we are going through our shit, we do not step out of our marriage to talk about it, to get advice about it. Like we stay, it's just you and I, and we figure it out. And then we will talk about it once it's over. And that was one of the things that really failed my relationships before, was because I let too many people into my relationship when things were going really bad.
Yeah.
So I personally feel like there are things that should just not be shared. I think it's very personal between two people, that when stuff is going, especially cheating, especially affairs, all of this type of stuff, I think that that is most important to stay within you and your partner, and then going to get counseling, personal counseling, individual counseling, group, family counseling, spousal counseling, whatever. So first glance, I'm like, nah, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. However, if this has been going on as long as her allegations have been going on, if she has tried to do everything else to try to fix the relationship, have conversations about the relationship and whatever, if it's happened multiple times, now she's not just his wife, but she is the mother of their child. And she sounds like that she's a stay-at-home mom that's doing every single thing so he can go and continue to live out the career that he has. And he still disrespects her like that. And he still embarrasses her like that. And he still treats her like that. I think it's fair game. I think it's fair game. I, as your wife, and we talked about this when this happened.
Yeah.
When this first came out and we were talking about it, Charlie Brown, no, come here. He's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, go, babe.
Go. Just don't let him outside. That would be the most hurtful thing. If anything bad ever happened, like that would be the most hurtful thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not mad at her for it. That I do see the whole point of like, hey, you hurt me this bad for this long. I'm gonna hurt you now. So now you get to be embarrassed. You get to feel shame. You get to feel, people coming to tell you shit that you don't want to come to. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I get where she's coming from. It wouldn't be me.
But something like this, like I don't think you can come back from this. This isn't just cheating. You figuring it out intimately, quietly, but behind closed doors and all this type of stuff and whatever. Like the minute that you allow somebody else into your marriage, I think that I think it's a complete like it breaks the vow, it breaks the trust. Like you don't.
Yeah. So
if you go and cheat on me, and you don't tell me that you feel disconnected from me, and we don't talk about what's going on
before I cheat,
before you do it, you've already made the choice to leave. You've already made the choice to break the vows, because if you love me and respect me enough and hold true to the vows that we made to each other, if you feel disconnected and feel like something's wrong with us, then like you would talk to me and we would do the work first. And then if you still decided that you weren't happy and you wanted to leave, I could respect that. I could get that. Not saying it still wouldn't hurt, but if you go, cheating is a choice. Emotional cheating is a choice. Physical cheating is a choice. It is a choice. I
don't think that they come back from that marriage now that if they had any chance of coming back and fixing it, it would have had to have been before she put it on social media, if they had any chance. Also, if she's known that he's been cheating for however many years,
and she also
forgave him.
Well, that's also the thing too, and that's the problem when you post this shit.
Obviously, she was trying to work it out, or she was trying to stay in the marriage. She obviously had a kid while he had cheated before the kid. She had the kid. And so she was,
and I respect a woman that loves her partner that much to really do the fucking work to try to make it work.
There's no way I come back from cheating.
But we've talked about that. I personally could not, because
just the idea of you sleeping with someone else for me is I can't. Like there's just I don't know. I don't know why that's a thing once you've been together for so long. Like, obviously, I know you've had partners in the past.
No, you haven't.
Whatever. Nice try. But
we've been together for a very long time.
I know. We've been together for almost 13 years. We've been married for 12. But obviously I knew that you had partners when I met you,
Mhm.
you know, from the past or whatever. I know somebody else has touched you, slept with you,
Mhm.
whatever. But
Now?
now, if it
Nope.
happened now,
Nope.
there's no way
No, and Kenneth literally hits the nail on the head. That's exactly
Yeah.
how it would feel. I would never be able to not think about you
with somebody else.
with somebody
Yeah.
else.
I just don't know. I don't know how she did it for 2 years. There's no
Mhm.
fucking way.
No.
I would be so broken
Mhm.
that like, no.
Mhm.
I might go to counseling for me to be better single, but
Yeah.
like I'm not going for you.
I think I just hold true on the fact that cheating is a choice, and it doesn't matter how it starts. Cheating is a choice. If you are unhappy in your marriage and you choose to find fulfillment in any way outside of your marriage, it is a choice. If your partner doesn't know that something is wrong and you choose to step out, it was a choice.
Yeah.
If your partner knows that you guys are struggling and you refuse to go get help for it, you're making a choice. And that's just how I feel. Again, the hardest thing and the most hurtful thing would be is if you and I were struggling and you chose to just go get something fun and whatever outside of our marriage and not take the time, because you hear stories like that. Well, I don't want to go to counseling. But you're like, I don't want to go to counseling because I don't want this marriage to come back or to be saved for any reason. But I'm
they'll
gonna
have
go
emotional DMs with
Right.
other women or whatever and get
emotional
all the love they need.
DMs,
Yeah.
jumping on dating apps, fulfilling fantasies and all these type of things or whatever. And even for that, like, I'm not saying don't have fantasies, but like you make a vow to be with the person that you married, and you have this crazy fantasy that's so big that your wife could never obtain that. Like,
I remember when you cut your hair really short, it was like up to here or whatever. And I literally felt like I was cheating on you for like 8 months until your hair grew back.
but you fucking loved it.
I did. I
You
was
fucking
obviously
loved it.
sleeping with you, but
Yeah.
it just with your hair so short, it felt like I was cheating on you. But I knew I was good because
Right.
it was you. So,
Right. Right.
but I mean, I don't know. I just don't. I don't even know how you could want to be married and cheat. Then don't tie yourself down like that.
That's my point.
You know
That's
what I
my
mean?
point. And if you're struggling, like, even if
Do you think they were together before he was like a famous strongman?
I don't know. Because I was gonna say there's
I was gonna say,
that.
did they get together? He wasn't famous yet, and then he
Right.
got famous on the circuit, and now.
But that's also what you hear from a lot of people too, is that you have some of them, the couples that make it through not being nobody, like being a nobody, and then rising to fame, making a lot of money, being successful, all these type of things, and they stay with the person that they were with from the beginning because they grew up together.
Yeah.
And then you have some couples that don't make it because one gets into the limelight or whatever, and the other one's at home.
Do you think LeBron ever cheated? That's the most famous story I can think of. He was with her since high school. They've been together since high school, 3 kids. Do you think
with his wife too?
Yeah. But didn't stories of him cheating come out? I feel like, or maybe,
Yeah, but I think he still denies it and says that he's never cheated on her.
Oh, well, I don't know about that, but there's absolutely there's no stories about LeBron stepping out anywhere. Do you think that that's even fucking possible?
I do.
That I give him. I don't like him. I'm not a super fan, but I would give him props if that's actually true and he's never cheated on that woman.
I do, because again, if you want a marriage to work, and most of these guys come across as like, I want to work and provide for this family and protect this family so that the woman can stay home and raise the kids and not work.
Yeah,
and
but
take
most
care of the
superstars
home.
don't do that.
You
And
know
they're
what I'm
on the
saying?
road.
Like,
they're separated from their spouse all the time.
that takes a lot. Takes a lot.
I don't know.
I don't. For us, we've always talked about if we lived 2 very different lives, it would be very hard for us to be together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for some people that works. Some people can do the, you your job takes you here for 4 months, but I'm still home. My job takes me away for 6 months.
That'd
but
be
you're
so
still,
hard, dude.
for me, that would be too hard.
That'd be
That would
that's
be
super hard.
you know?
Kudos to the people that actually get that
Yeah.
done, because
Yeah.
I'm
Listen,
selfish.
I'm so fucking
Selfish.
selfish. I think I've made you more selfish since
Yeah, well,
being together. But
now I'm needy.
so, but I mean, I think again, it goes back to that couple of what works. I hear stories about, there's couples that are always like, I can't wait to go do things without my spouse. I'm like, or my spouse pisses me off. You go to the dinner and you hear all these stories of the wives bitching about their husbands and whatever. And I'm absolutely that meme that's looking around and be like, I can't relate to this because you and I are not like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because we're both women, but it's like,
Might be. Hey, Travis, what's up, dude?
hey, but I'm always like, I can't wait till my wife and I can go to dinner together. So we can just sit across the table from each other and have a conversation without our son saying mom 1,500 times or needing something or whatever. You know what I mean? So I really think it takes you have to know your person, I guess is the best way that I can say it. You have to know your person. And for us, being apart just doesn't work, but then you have I know Kenneth was gone for a while away from his family and they still make it work.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so kudos to him and his family that, can do it. I just doesn't work,
Well, I'm not surprised she did it. I'm not surprised she threw it on social media. I'm not surprised he answered her.
Listen, if a woman,
if I was him, I wouldn't have answered though.
If a woman is hurt to the level that she sounds like she seems broken, she seems shattered. And
that's me. She seems pissed.
But that's my
the
point.
shattered and broken will come after the pissed offness.
No, no.
At the same time.
I feel like that a woman doesn't get angry like that unless she's already shattered and broken. Oh. I don't think. I think that it wasn't just this event that happened that would cause a response like that.
Do you think you think a string of more posts are coming?
I don't know.
You think she'll answer his answer?
I don't think so, because the difference in what I'm seeing, and this is just me speculating, I don't know either one of them or whatever, but it was kind of like what we were talking about at lunch yesterday, where it was like, in different seasons of your life, you go through different identities or whatever. Like when we first got married, I was your wife. That was my whole identity. Like that was it. When I became a mom, my entire identity, or us even trying to get pregnant, my entire identity was wrapped around trying to become a mother. And then when we became parents, my whole entire existence has been my identity as a mother. And so when you have certain identities in your life or whatever, you hold one higher than you do something else. So what I'm seeing in this is that her identity was wrapped up in being a woman, being a wife, being a mother, taking care and having a family. That was her identity. His identity is being the strongest man in the world.
Yeah.
So the thing that he holds higher than everything, it looks like, I'm not saying that's how it is, but what it looks like is that he holds that higher than anything else. So she could be.
No, she is.
Okay.
Yeah, she is.
Okay, so maybe, but my point being, it's like, what is going to hit him the hardest and hurt him the most? And for him, it's going after his reputation as the strongest man. Let me go after his reputation. Let me show all of his fans and show his people that he's a piece of shit. He's not a family man like he walks around and says and blah, 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 blah. And so how are you going to hit him the hardest? You're going to go after his legacy. That's my point. I mean, if she is or not, like.
I think it blows over. If she doesn't make any more posts about it, sure, people around them will talk about it for a little while, but I think it blows over pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But if she keeps answering him or respond, I mean, their families are in their chats, which I again.
Or like a
But,
lot of them, if she is an
like, they're picking sides.
influencer, this is a lot of news that people are gonna pay to see.
Yeah.
And some people, you make the choice to do that shit. So, but
Judy Reed, speaking of watching the same podcasts, did you see the Josh Sider one today? That dude, I don't know what I thought he was gonna be, but I didn't think it was gonna be that. That was super cool. That was
I
fucking cool.
started listening to it on the way home.
I'm gonna watch it again too, because there were some points in there and I was like, oh shit. But I mean, hey, I guess if Jillian Michaels got red pilled, anything is happening. Anything can happen. So, because I've been following her journey too, and every time she talks, and someone like explains something to her, she just looks like, oh my god, like the first time she's ever heard it, and she's like, yes, that's exactly how I feel. I'm like, yeah, girl, welcome. Keep talking to these people.
Listen, I still feel that way. I hear things, I listen to things. I'm constantly choosing to listen to things that I would never listen to before. And what you hear
thanks,
is
Judy.
like, it was like, what the
Yeah.
it blows your mind. And that is what I would say with all of this, is the idea that people in power are not corrupt in one way or another, or only looking out for themselves, or only want to get as rich as they possibly can get. Like, the more information that you listen to and the more things that you read, it's becoming very, very likely.
Yeah, I just want to point this one thing out here quick before we get out of here, so Judy can catch up, because it was a really good podcast. It was awesome. The level of commitment that this Josh Cedar guy had to have is crazy, because this wasn't what his Instagram looked like at all during those 8 months that he was.
It was this part right here.
Yeah, all you saw was his trolls. There was now all of his stuff is like back of him as a dude, where I was scrolling through it and it was like, yeah, this one wasn't there. This one wasn't there. All the ones of him, like this one wasn't there. So he committed, and I think he even said there's only a couple people that knew what he was doing. His family didn't even know.
Yep.
And so I got to give it to him. The level of commitment it took for him to pull that off, that was good, because I was confused as fuck. Even more confusing than the conversation we just had 20 minutes ago. But yeah, that was a really cool listen. He's a really smart guy. That was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I definitely did not think that he that was an amazing listen. Yeah, he's super smart. Yeah, Jody. I like that one a lot. And so yeah, that was my morning. I was catching up on stuff too, guys. There's a lot of podcasts this weekend. I had to catch up on everything too. But yeah, I don't know what this week. I don't know. The only thing I'm for sure on is next Sunday is Sean Woodland, and then the rest of the week we'll just catch the news cycle, or if somebody pops up and wants to hang out with us, we'll throw up a pod. But hope you guys had a great weekend. Yeah, it was pretty. How's little G doing at school?
Good.
Yeah, he's doing great. We're on top of it. Like, I think we told you when we were having our Board of Education meltdown, that we're just on top of it. Like, we have all his teachers' phone numbers. We can text them privately if we need to. We're on all the school apps. We're in all the board meetings. So we keep an eye on it. We've been to his classroom. We've seen his library. So I'm honestly, I think the worrisome thing will probably be middle school. I think elementary school right now that school's pretty chill, pretty safe. There's not a lot of stuff over there.
Yeah.
But I think
and that might be something someone said it. I forget what podcast I heard it on. Oh, it might have been the one that Sevon had with the critical thinking teacher or whatever.
Oh yeah, that was a good one too.
Where he said that his kids are in school now up until middle school, and then once they get into middle school, then they'll take them home and do more homeschooling, because yes, it is they are trying to go younger and younger with these extreme ideologies and stuff like that. But middle school is kind of where it really starts to take off. So that's something that I've been thinking about too. That I mean, we'll obviously.
Well, it's good. We got
about
a couple years. Daddy Trump is in there. We got a couple years before.
And we still have, again, we have really, really good people in the school that were his teachers beforehand, that are in the office, like that are constantly keeping us in the loop as to what is going on. So if there's any glimpse of weirdness that starts to happen, like they'll let us know. And
oh, holy crap. He just got his physical. He's like 4'9".
Yeah.
He's freaking almost 5 feet tall already.
70 pounds.
7 years old.
70 pounds.
Killing me.
4'9".
Yeah.
Almost 5. I was like,
Crazy.
what the fuck is going on? And he's only 7.
Yeah.
Oh, and some of you guys might want to, you'll like this or whatever. So Garrett has been put in a couple situations where people have asked about his dad. You know, like,
oh, yeah,
like,
that's right.
do you have, you know, like what, like I was at the doctor's, for instance, and the doctor's like, is this your mom? And he's like, yeah. And then the doctor goes, well, who's your dad? And Garrett's like, I don't have a dad. And he kind of looks at me and he kind of looks at Garrett, and without missing a beat, Garrett's like, I have 2 moms. And he's like, oh. And then he's like, why do you have 2 moms? And Garrett looks at me and I'm just like, because that's your family, bud. He's like, yeah, that's my family. And then it was a conversation of like, you know, some families have 2 moms, 2 dads, mom and a dad, grandma, grandpa, uncles, aunt, like whatever. And then there was something before that, the day before, I forget, babe, what conversation it was or whatever.
He was in the deli talking to one of our customers that I've known for a long time.
Yep.
And he said, he's a good dude. I forget what his name is. I think it's Jeff.
Yeah.
But and he just said something to him about like maybe have mom or dad take you to the aquarium or something like that. And Garrett was just like, I have 2 moms.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's right, you do. So you should have one of your moms take you to the aquarium. It didn't skip a beat.
Nope.
Didn't even flinch them.
Nope. Doesn't ask any more questions. Hasn't really asked any more questions. For Father's Day, he always gives something to my father.
Yep.
To his grandfather. But it's one of those things, and when the conversation comes up, he does know about his siblings. He doesn't know about all of his siblings, but he
knows about like 3 of them.
He knows about his siblings, and he'll ask randomly about them and whatever. And, you know, which is cool to hear him be curious to ask, but we're not in that phase where it's like having these deep, in-depth conversations, but pretty cool that he's just like, and that for me, just again, and it solidifies what you have always said, babe, is that like
age appropriate
and kids just figure it out.
Yeah.
They just look around.
We've never had the conversation with him. He just like, I got 2 moms.
That's it.
So
that's it.
There's no
like obsession about it. There's no like, let's put all this pressure on it to get him to understand. He's got 2 moms. That's all. That's literally what it is, the gist of what it is. And that's what he says.
Oh, his little friend Elle did run up to me on Halloween when we were walking.
Yeah.
And this little girl has asked me every year since they became friends.
Mm-hmm.
She just doesn't see me for a while.
Yep.
And then she'll randomly see me again. And then she'll go, are you a boy or a girl?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be like, I'm a girl.
Yep.
And she'll be like, why? And then I look at her mother and I'm like, handle this. I'm not answering this for you.
Yeah.
Like, you explain it.
Yep.
Like, I don't know what to tell you. But I'm not going to lie to the kid if she asks me. And she knows. But it's just funny. It's every time that I see her. And she came in the deli yesterday too. But now she's good. Now she's seen me every month and so now she doesn't ask. But I won't see her all winter. And then
she'll ask again.
July, she'll be like, are you a boy or a girl?
Yep. Yep.
She's cute though. They're cute.
Yep.
So yeah.
But no, he's good.
Yep. He's figuring it out.
Yep. Getting ready for the holidays. You know, they'll have 100 things in school, which is great. You know, it's good times, and then get to the holidays.
For him right now, it's football Sunday. He's in there with snacks watching football until we get off, and then so it's good. Everybody's chilling. Yeah, that was it. It was a good weekend. Hope you guys had fun.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed the fights. And yeah, I'll be in the chat. Well, I'm never in the chat, but I usually am watching it when you guys are watching it. So I'll be laughing at your jokes.
Yep.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
Bye.
Deuces.
See ya.